All right, welcome back to the AAA podcast, the show that gives you access all areas to everything, music, nightlife, and everything in between. Today we have a special guest. I really don't have any other way to introduce you, but
do you have an air horn button?
I don't have an air horn button.
Did say about having the air horn
should have
button.
done it, right?
We'll add it in post. Well, look, we've got Macshane here.
What's up, fam? What's up, homies? What's up, listeners?
So thank you for coming in. I really didn't have any other way to introduce you. That you don't really need an introduction, to be honest.
That is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. That's either really good or really bad.
I think it's
infamy.
We'll go with good. We'll go
Excellent.
with good.
Well, you can invest in an air horn button next time, but what's up?
Yeah, we'll get one. Next time we have you, we'll put an air horn in.
Actually, I think I got it from you. I got the Akai 8-pad.
MPD,
download.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's prime time. Damn, should have bought it, man.
Well, look, why don't you give anyone that doesn't know who you are, just brief introduction, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, no worries. My name is Macshane. I'm a local wordsmith from this fine city called Perth. I'm known as a freestyler. I'm known as someone who likes to entertain, or known as somebody who likes to host. I've come up in the rave scene, in the dubstep, drum and bass scene, hip-hop scene, and I rap.
You rap?
I rap.
That's
and boy, do I enjoy it. Yeah.
No, you actually touched on it when you started. You said about wordplay.
Yeah.
Now, you did have it was a series. That you
Weekly
had.
wordplay.
Yeah. How did you, not really how did you come up with that, but like, what was the idea?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, like, should I say, pretty much the majority of my rap career has just been me freestyling. Like, absolutely shit talking. Like, just, I'm sorry for the PG listeners at home, but dead set, it's like I'll walk into a room and I'll see something hilarious and I'll come up with a pun on it, and then bang, all of a sudden I'm freestyling, coming up with themes and concepts. I thought, why don't I actually do that in location-based kind of settings?
Yeah.
For example, long time ago, well, now it's a long time, I would do the festival sets where I'd jump up on stage, people would hold things up in the air, like pull them out of the crowd, and I would like pull it out of their hands and like freestyle the punchline of what they had.
Yeah.
Weekly wordplay was just a continuation of that, but not in a festival setting, but in an actual location. So I'd think of like hilarious places to do it. Like imagine Coles, you're walking through the aisle. It's like, look at all the content you have to pull off the shelves and rap about.
Well, I think because you did, there was one from Target that I was seeing, one from Bunnings.
Yep.
Did you have any weird interaction, like with people? When you
the whole thing was weird, mate. If you rewatch the videos, you will see a vein popping out of my head here. You will see sweat there, and then you see my eyes going like darting around the room to see what I can find.
I think there was one that was I think it was the Target one. And like you can see, like you look behind it. There's like people.
Yeah.
And you just start like moving away.
That one was hilarious because it was a stealth mission. Because there was a literal security guard who was like sharking me, like swimming around me, like as I'm in the aisles because he thought I was shoplifting. Oh. But he's like, because I'm picking up all these things and like putting them back really quick and like yelling and kind of just going skits. But we had to get in and out. But then the saddest thing about that video was we didn't get the audio right, so I couldn't go back in. Oh. And I was like conflicted. I was like, do I go to another Target? Is this who I am? Am I just a guy who goes to Targets and raps in the women's aisle? What are you doing? But the best one was the adult shop one, in my opinion.
I never saw that.
I haven't seen that?
No.
Bro,
Oh.
okay. I hope it's still on YouTube. But I actually had a girl who I knew who worked at the adult shop in Innaloo.
Yeah.
Shout out adult shop Innaloo, respect. And they actually closed the adult shop for like 25 minutes, and all these dudes in like trench coats and shit had to leave. Like, all these like super seedy characters, and I actually closed it for 20 minutes, and I got to go in and like, do the thing basically. So I'm like pulling Excalibur dildos off the shelf and like dropping punchlines on them, like anal beads. This is like literally 3 minutes into this podcast where we're dropping big words.
We've already talked about
Dropping big
3 minutes in and we're like anal beads.
But dead set, man. Weekly wordplay is just a perfect format. Like it's just complete. It's a playground. Like words are a playground. Wordplay. Like,
how did you, not to get technical, but how did you actually film it? Like, did you play the audio, like an audio
totally.
track?
So I was basically that annoying kid on the back of the bus that had the loudspeaker, like walking around. And shout out to Mitch Richards, absolute king of a cameraman. He's been a absolute don, filmed 2 absolutely killer music videos for me. He was actually the dude who first started filming for Weekly Wordplay.
Yeah.
And then so he would come through and basically with the gimbal just follow me. He was stressing just as hard as me because he could see behind me everybody like circling, ready to go, you know?
You're like, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, but it was literally that. It was just like camera, audio, and a sound source, which was sick.
That's dope.
Almost got kicked out of Bunnings. Almost got, kicked out of Target. I went into that same Bunnings that I did the Bunnings weekly wordplay thing and like just to grab something. And somebody's like, that's the guy. And all the managers came out and everyone's like, yeah, like applauding. Because it went fucking viral. So insane.
Would you say doing stuff like what you did, like you're ballsy to do it and you and your mate were like shitting yourself doing it, would you say that kind of prevents a lot of people from doing creative shit like that?
Arguably, yes. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like I did it because I did have the fear of what other people would think. But if you can't get over that, you shouldn't be doing this. Like you shouldn't be in the public eye, man. Like it was weird. I literally did the 92.9 thing, and I had to rap two of West Australia's biggest footy players. I've never watched a footy game in my life. I literally had to do research about footy to like say the right things, and every time I said them, I didn't know what they meant.
So you were just dropping it and like...
I was absolutely mudding.
They were loving it.
And that's the thing is like they were nodding and I'm like, yes, I haven't said the wrong thing. But like the fear was that if I did fuck up, all these footy fans and all these people were like, what is this guy doing? He's a clown. But like, just dive in, man.
How did you, did you personally hook up with McGovern? Or like, how did that work out?
It was a weird... Are you ready for the most tangents you've ever had on a podcast? Because I'm about to...
Yeah.
It all started... Have you got a hazy bit where I can flash back to 1969? Yeah. It all started in the summer of... It must have been like 2010 or 2011. And so I would work at a place called Cosmic Sound. And this absolute lord of a DJ I met called DJ Fidel.
Yeah.
This dude's pretty much the guy that started me on this path. I would work with him. I was like 18. I was playing in like metal bands. Long history, whatever. I'm sure you absolutely grill me on it later. But Fidel got me into hip hop in the sense that he was like actively DJing in the shop. I'm like, this dude's dope. Like, what's he doing? He's like, I produce. Turns out he had like one of the #1 hip hop records in Australia at that time.
Yeah.
And he's like, come to my show. And I'm like 18-year-old, like frothing from metal background. Come to these shows, see all the sick music, hear this stuff. And then like he keeps getting more shows and he's like, I was kind of around with MCing, like just as a party trick, just a joke, you know what I mean? Like I would beatbox and like all this stuff. And then Fidel's like, why don't you just jump up and like hype on one of my sets for a bit? And I did it and the crowd absolutely went skits because I was just doing like around raps, you know, just whatever. And then he's like, I need you to rap the lyrics of one of my actual songs because the rapper couldn't come to Australia or something like this. He couldn't make the show and because he like collabed with these US dudes. So I had to learn the lyrics for this like song. And was like, hopped on this stage at Throwing of the Grape or Electric Vines, whatever it was in the Swan Valley, like hell fresh face, 18-year-old kid. And I was like doing the second verse and I forgot the lyrics. And I knew, because like when you rap, well, for me, I can see ahead, like in my mind's eye, I guess. Yeah. You know, you kind of know what you're doing. So it's like autopilot. I'm just like channeling.
Like pre-planned.
Yeah. So like when you're reciting lyrics, I guess. So I could like see ahead that like, oh shit, what are those words while I'm talking the previous words. And then I knew there was a dead end. I'm like, how are you going to do this, bro? You can't just stop rapping. So I started flipped it into freestyle. And as I'm freestyling, I'm rapping about the crowd. And they were loving it more than the original rap that I was doing.
Yeah.
And then so Fidel's like, boom, like jump onto the next one. And it just kept progressing and like absolutely got mad. So yeah, bros. If you can refresh me on the original question, because the tangents are going to get deeper. Are you ready to take the blue pill or the red pill?
Well, all right. So the original McGovern. How did
McGovern? Sorry, excuse me. This is the point of the tangents.
Yeah, okay.
Is that we can just cover as much ground. So McGovern, right at that gig, because I did that freestyle flip up.
Yeah.
I remember finishing the set and I'm like wigging heavily. Like, what just happened? Everyone's loving it. I just hear this like, this chick screaming like coming from a long distance. I'm like, what? I'm on stage. She's like coming up. It was Heidi from 92.9. She's like, oh my God, what was that? Like, you did the rap, you killed it. And I'm just like, still tripping out, like, know what's going on. And she's like, you need to come into 92.9 and rap. And I'm like, I'm 18. This is like the first rap I ever did. And she's like, no, you have to come in. So I did like a month later and I did this rap. And to be honest with you, it was pretty average. Like, I was going to say like listeners would call up and drop words and then I would freestyle them. It's pretty average, let's be honest. And then nothing came of it.
Yeah.
And so it was like, whatever, just move on, started rapping, career, whatever. Then I remember being mortally hungover, like dying, kind of like literally watching the paint dry at my house. And I got this phone call. It was like Sunday at 7 p.m. it was Heidi. This is like this year. And she's like, Stan. I'm like, she's like, it's Heidi from 92.9. I was like, what? I haven't spoken to you in like 5 years. She goes, how would you feel about coming in to rap battle Jeremy McGovern? Rap battle Sonny Walters for Jeremy McGovern. And I was like, who are they?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, literally, I'm like translucent pale. Like I do not play sports. Like I rap. So I had no idea like who these people are. So I immediately like snapped out of the hangover, ran upstairs, started writing, like literally opened up the Eagles website and the Dockers website side by side. And I'm looking through like this player stats, like whoever was on the top list. I was like, obviously they're important. So I'll write their name down. Then I'll like work a rhyme out based on their name. And then I'll like look through the news, look at current shit. I'd literally called all my bogan mates. Respect.
You always need that.
Bro, honestly, bogan mates ground you. And then so put together this piece and then went in the next day and did it. And that was when it first started and it went off. And then she's like, we need to get you back again. And it was like, all of a sudden I'm rapping about royal weddings and like, all of a sudden I'm researching all these like insane kind of topics that I never would.
Because you did the Derby one and then you did the grand final one as well.
Yeah.
And I saw that went like, everyone in Perth went like
yes,
nuts. Like,
skits for it.
They were like, yes, you destroyed like Collingwood.
Yes, dude. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And the irony of all of it was literally the day after that, I went to Melbourne, not for the grand final, but for like a work-related thing for this product launch of a DJ controller. And so I hopped off the plane and I'm in the airport just as I was like trying to shred everyone. And then like I got to see the last 2 minutes of the grand final on the screen. And like the whole airport's like frozen still. I was like, oh yeah, suck that Collingwood. But if they won, yeah, my rap would have sucked.
Oh well, it's kind of weird. Everything just kind of fits, doesn't it? Like
To be honest with you, man, like my whole existence in rap and this, whatever this is, it's literally just one progression after the next. It's just me enjoying what I do. Like it's gone from that around at parties to emceeing at Metro City to hosting 5,000 people to whatever. Like
yeah, and I think
crazy.
I think what you're saying, Joel, about like with like the videos when about people worrying. There's kind of I can't remember who said it, but you kind of need to realize that you're not that in the most politest way. You're not that important to other people. Like whether you're doing like videos like that, when you're doing vlogs, whatever it may be, there's like for those 3-5 seconds that someone sees you, they're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
After that, that's the rest of
exactly.
Like
yeah.
No one's lives are hinging on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like
freestyling about that dildo in adult shop.
Yeah. But you know what? Like
Yeah.
if you put that out of your mind, then you go, oh, like
exactly.
It's just me and the camera.
That's it, man. Like that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And if there's a lesson I can teach anybody is like, don't care. Like those times when I've got on stage to do that freestyle thing, you know, for example, where I pull something out of somebody's hand and drop the punchline, like I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if it's going to come across well, if it's going to land or if I'm going to nail it or think of the next thing. Like as long as you say it with confidence and believe in what you're doing and also visibly show that you're having a good time, like smile. Like I don't take myself seriously. And that's probably why things are working. Because if I was the whole time like, yo, I'm a lyrical miracle, like Illuminati conspiracy rapper, like, bro, I wouldn't be doing half of what I'm doing. Like,
yeah.
Well, I get it shows there's a lot of like when you kind of don't take it so like serious.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. It's something about it where people just you succeed more when you don't really.
Yeah, exactly. Comedy always beats tough guy.
I was going to ask with like how you started doing like the wordplay and like pulling because you're saying so for anyone that hasn't watched, you would basically go on stage, you get people to put items in the air and pull.
Totally
them out.
right.
Anything. I remember there's things like tampons and you.
We can dig deep, man. So basically, the premise of it is, I think the easiest way to win over a crowd is to actually show them that you're genuine. Like normally when people watch a show, it's like us and them. It's like just a spectacle.
Yeah.
Like we are the consumers. You're the producer. Like you're on stage given a product. We're just sitting there and listen to it.
Yeah.
When you do the freestyle thing, it completely destroys that stigma, breaks down the wall. Like you are literally a part of the show now. So that's what I did when I kicked off with Fidel, was I'll just come out there and go, yo, somebody hold something up in the air right now. And you'd get that super drunk, white girl wasted chick who'd be like, hold my lipstick up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, I pick a lipstick up and drop a punchline based on that. But then I tie that punchline into like Transperth bus card that the next person's holding up. And then everyone's like, oh my God, he rapped about my thing, but then made sense because of the other thing I was holding. And then everyone gets involved and all of a sudden...
It shows that you're not fake. Fake. I remember watching through some of your stuff and saying like how sometimes when there's like a freestyle rap, it's not a freestyle rap.
Oh, yeah.
It's they've planned that. Like,
Yes,
it's all fabricated.
totally.
Yeah. I you actually hit on that note where you're like freestyle, you don't think it means the same thing as
Exactly. Like, if you want to, like, there's the science of rap. That's a whole nother like conversation. But I think for me, freestyle is like literally in the moment, like right now. Like I could rap about that bomber jacket. I could rap about like the Behringer QX1202 mixer they're using. Like that's real. Like if I'm going, yo, it's a freestyle and I'm in a house and it's because it's loud. It's like, well, you're not like you're just saying things. Like
just rhyme.
They just rhyme. Like if you can tie it into like your day or like the meaning of the tattoo or. It's that's a different league and level. So for me, when I do the freestyle thing, it's a test for me as well.
Yeah.
Do you consider a gimmick as such doing it?
Completely.
And do you?
But at the same time, it's a very powerful tool.
Do you like to? I guess add on to that. Do you believe gimmicks help in succeeding in, say, the music industry? In a sense, like.
Do we need to look at the iTunes top 10 rappers like Tekashi 6ix9ine? Like, is that a gimmick? Like, gimmicks identify you and like project you above the majority. So I guess if every rapper had like bleach blonde hair and like a plain white shirt, like 2000 Eminem, like, it's very kind of stagnant. But I guess then you look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. I sound like the biggest white guy ever. I hope I pronounced his name right. Tekashi 6ix9ine. If you look at that dude, like, man, like what like, and you want to listen to his music. Yeah. And then you listen to his music and you discover he's the worst rapper ever on the planet. But anyway, you, like, that's what drew you there. So that's his gimmick. But the problem with that is his gimmick's not about the art. He's
a salesman.
Yeah.
Which was actually something I was going to mention. Like, you as well, you're a good salesman. That's you're selling it. You're selling your product.
Yeah. Like, well, the funny thing about that is you have a hole in your heart and I have a product to fill it.
No, but it's quite funny. There's something I wanted to remind you of. You probably don't remember this, yeah? But
trigger me, baby. I'm ready.
When you were working at Cosmic, I came in and I bought a launch pad off you. And your sales pitch was, when you're not finger smashing birds, you can finger smash things.
Yes.
And I was like, I've got
Did it work?
It
good at you are fingering women now. Do it with like all 10 fingers. You're like aligning chakras. Yeah, you're aligning chakras now, bro. No, but that's amazing. Like the other flip side is of being a rapper is you know what's
got to
really
sell
weird?
it, like you said. You got to say it 100% with confidence.
For the public record, I've never ever talked about this. I've never talked about rap. I've never had to sit here and talk about things I've ever done. So this is wicked because this is like digging. It's actually forcing me to think about, whoa, what why is it 2018 and like things are happening. So like, I think being a salesman, man, you have to kind of sell yourself to be an artist because if you're super shy and I'm in the corner, I'm like, I don't believe in what I'm doing. It's like, well, man, like you're not going to go far. The irony is sometimes I don't believe what I'm doing, man. Like, why am I rapping about when I could be writing songs, which I guess you have to force it upon yourself, and that's what I've done. So the biggest irony for me is to flip it from freestyle to writing. And that's kind of where it is now.
So would you say
be a salesman?
Yeah, for sure. Would you say now you're doing more written stuff than what you were doing previously?
100%. Yeah, 100%. So the biggest battle for me was flipping that whole universe of coming from freestyling, which then turned into hosting clubs, which was like an epic 2 years of just like every gig ever, hosting DJs, to then actually like being forced to sit in a room, stare at the computer screen and actually like, right, what do I think? Like, what do I feel? What's my worldview?
Yeah.
And kind of, actually work out what I am as an artist, if not who I am as an artist.
Yeah. Do you have a structure to kind of work from when you take that approach?
Totally. Like normally what will happen in terms of like birthing or creating a song, I'll get, I kind of not like to work off the beat first because that's really where the emotion is. Yeah. You can't just slot like a preset, group of lyrics over a beat.
Yeah, of course.
Could be the Wiggles theme and I'm rapping about murdering a family. Might work. But, it's kind of, it works the opposite.
Macshane's new song.
So like for me, I'd get the beat first and then I'll kind of just freestyle over the beat. Yeah. And when I say freestyle, I just like switch off and just like disconnect what I'm actually thinking and just, start just talking words and patterns.
Are you recording all this while you're doing it?
I don't think, like sometimes I'll hit record. Yeah. But I think the best way is just to run. And as soon as I'm like, oh, that sounded sick, then I'll like stop and think, what did you actually just say? And then like write down a phrase. Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll work backwards. So when I say work backwards, is I'll come up with my rhyme words. Yep. and make sure each rhyme word ties into the theme, and then I'll fill the sentences in backwards.
Yeah, I get you.
So, you know, like, I could be like, it's like terrorism, bomb blast, something, or hanging on the podcast, contrast, like. So I have those rhyme words, but what comes before them to set the word up for a bigger punchline, you work backwards.
Yeah.
And that's like the general structure of it. Then you go on and like nitpick and get all your like compound rhymes and things. But you got to make sure things are coherent and make sense.
Yeah.
Because there's rappers, ready for this? There's a pearl of wisdom for you. There's rappers who rap about rapping. Yo, I'm the best on the mic. You know, flex when I rhyme. Like somebody the best. You're like, bro, you literally actually haven't said anything.
Yeah, you haven't said jack shit.
This is your first. This is your first single. Like, how are you the best on the mic? Like,
yeah. And you listen to their chorus and you're like, it's some chick singing about this. And then, like you said, they're just rapping about some irrelevant shit.
And then there's rappers who like sit and make you think. You're like, whoa. And then you like pause the song. You're like staring at the wall.
Makes you like
the classic, like, I guess, basic like rap homie example is like, you know, Immortal Technique.
I was just about to say that,
every like 12-year-old kid in the library is going to be sitting there going like, yeah, dude, that's so true. But like literally Immortal Technique, like Dance with the Devil, that's prime time.
Did you used to get down to Big L and stuff?
I did. Big L's sick. So I'm weird with coming up in rap because all I've ever listened to was UK rap, like grime. That's me. Because weirdly enough with rap, another tangent for you, I don't listen to much rap, weirdly enough. Like, I listen to drum and bass, I listen to dubstep, I listen to house, I listen to techno, I listen to funk, jazz, R&B. Like, I listen to all this other music that isn't rap. And then the times I do listen to rap, I like critically listen to it.
Yeah. Because
I find that the majority of the rap that is kind of out there on the main surface is kind of, a bit superficial and empty for me. It's like, the way that I look at rap is I pick it apart like a science. Yeah. And that's when I hear a lot of what's on the radio. It's just like, it's just cookie cutter. It's the same thing, man. Same topic, same theme, same flow. Like, or like, you know, I'm in the club making love. Like, no, man, like, you got to dig deeper. And when I do dig deeper, I only find satisfaction in the UK side of music. Yeah. There's great, killer American music out there. But like, because whoever's listening to this, please do me a favor and put some on my plate. Because like, I'm too engrossed in the UK like side of things because they're pushing flows forward. They're pushing concepts, themes, wordplay. Yeah. They did invent the English language, right? But that for me is where I get my satisfaction because it's like bending the concept of what you can do with rap. But for me, like, I only really listen to everything that's not rap. Like, it's mad.
I was gonna say with there was two things that I kind of brought up. I was kind of thinking about. First was, as you were saying before, like you're doing freestyle and then you kind of flipped over. Now you're trying to write some stuff. Do you feel that you got to a point in doing freestyle where it became like not easy, but it was the norm?
Dude, great questions. Like, you're actually forcing me to think about this, which is sick. So if I also forget the question, it's because I'm thinking about it myself. I'm like, whoa.
You're going to kind of think.
So dead set, man. I can tell you 120% yes. And that is actually at the start of this year. Like, I realized, and I had a lot of mates who I started rapping with, absolutely killer. Like, I'm not going to go name dropping things, but I found everyone I started with has gone like split on tangents. Yeah. And they've either quit, they've either stopped, they've either lost interest, they're either like not motivated in themselves or they're jaded or, you know, they kind of just stop rapping for their own reasons. Yeah. And for me, like, freestyle was the one kind of thread that I had that kept me going. Yeah. And then when I realized that all these people who I started freestyling with kind of dropped off, I was like, so why are you really here? Like, what are you actually doing? Are you just going to get up there, like, you know, and do your 20 minutes, like, telling everyone to say yo when the DJ drops a beat? It's like, nah, man, like, rap is my release. It's like what I have. Yeah. If I don't have this, I don't know what I'd be doing. You know, like, it's literally just a part of me.
You need to kind of, you need it as your release. And you kind of got to that, like we've talked about, me and Joel have talked about it on and off air, like how you get to a certain point, you kind of got to, as you said, like all these people had kind of dropped off. You kind of get to a point where you need to change, otherwise you're just not. Yeah.
You need to warp the norm.
Yeah. You always need to like push
Totally
yourself.
Right. So you know what the hardest thing is? And I'm literally experiencing this right now. Like, now I have to make time for rap. Whereas before, like, rap would make time for
rap
itself.
Was your time, yeah.
So literally there'd be times where for 4 nights a week and like dead set 4 nights a week, I'd finish work and it was straight in the whip and it was straight to the homie's house. 5 of us sitting around a table. We would rap till 12 at night literally instrumentals for 5 hours straight. And then bang, like back to work. Next night, bang, rapping 5 hours. I had a housemate that lived with for many years, and me and him would literally sit at the back table and we would rap from 6 till 12 at night, like even just by ourselves. It was like training ground, man. But then when these kind of dudes realized, life got in the way, I was kind of left, and I'm like, it got to the point where I'm having to sit in the studio and like shut the door and like just open up a blank notepad and like scan through YouTube for beats like by myself, and then start freestyling by myself. Freestyling by yourself is not fun. And so I'd have to force myself to start writing. And that's what my new EP, that's how that kind of started.
Forcing yourself to write.
Basically, man. And to be honest, a lot of the songs on it are kind of packaged in a form that's digestible, but each song actually tells a story of where I'm at.
Yeah.
100%. Like, yeah, it covers a lot of ground. But it's something that I had to force myself to do.
Which I guess is a good thing. You need
totally.
You need to kind of push yourself.
It's the best thing, man. It's the best thing that could happen. But it's just a weird feeling. Like, I'm sure anything in life, anyone like listening, there'll be people that you start with, and then if you're truly committed to something, you'll kind of be the last person standing.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's up to you to make it something, because other people aren't there to push you or create it,
Yeah.
So I'm lucky in the sense that things are happening.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because like you just said that you'll start with a group and then you kind of become like the individual. But I found like with myself, and maybe Lewis will say this too, is like you start off in these different groups, but then
you come together.
We're all here now.
Yeah,
like we
man.
come from different backgrounds.
Exactly right.
And then you all kind of meet up, even like we're all from different fields,
100%.
but it's like we've all came here in that creative kind of space.
Well, you boys all have a love and appreciation for music, and creativity. Like you like researching it, you like being a part of it, and that's why we're all here talking about it.
Yeah.
But much same story as like the industry I'm involved with is like I sell music as a living, so every day I have that. It's music by day, music by night. If I didn't have music, I can tell you right now I wouldn't be an accountant. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be lost, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I guess
So I'm lucky, man.
You have that realization. I definitely had that before. Like I literally, all I do is it's music 24/7.
Yes, bro.
Within the industry.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, what would I be doing if
Yeah.
I wasn't doing this?
You'd
Yeah,
be
dude.
that person knocking off work and then watching news and reading the paper and being like, these fabricated problems in the world.
Or you'd be standing on like Great Eastern Highway with a sign like naked saying the end is nigh. Like,
I was just
You really took that.
give this
like,
man a mixtape, quick.
I'd be one of those people standing in Bunnings. It's like, what the is this dude walking?
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
Bunnings?
what's this guy saying?
I'd like to file a complaint. But man, dead set. Like,
Or on a Friday night, calling the council, like, this shit's too loud.
music for me is like a flip side, man. It's like comedy and hilarious and like supremely entertaining, but it's also supremely deep, man, for me.
Yeah.
So it's this weird paradox that I'm trying to like find.
It's
ground.
whatever you make it, isn't it?
It is.
Like, I've said this to people 100 times. I'm like, music is it's influential.
100%.
And it can change, it can warp your moods and your state of mind. It's like...
Universal
you said-
language, bro.
Yeah. You said you like all these set genres. If you're in a set mood, you're going to listen to something else, aren't you?
Exactly right.
And if you're like, I'm digging it right now, smash the six-pack,
Exactly.
you're going to put on your jam.
Obviously, new metal's coming out, so
Yeah.
shouts out to Fred Durst. No. Beep, delete that.
I'm going to take you on a bit of a take you back in time a little bit.
Okay. I'm
Now-
ready.
You mentioned that like UK music is a very influential part of your upbringing and musically and that kind of stuff. A little birdie told me, not really, I did a bit of research.
Oh, the internet.
I did a bit of research, yeah. How did you meet Charlie Sloth?
Woo! Okay. So, let me see. How far do you want to wind back the tangent?
As far as you can.
Out of 100.
Let's go all the way back.
Okay. I need to... Yeah, we'll start here. Okay. I'm going to breeze through this because this is like epic story. So, I went on a holiday at the end of 2016. So, I'm half Norwegian, which my first name is Stian. Or if you're in Norway, it's Stian. And I went beep-a-dip all the way back to Norway to link up with the fam. And so over there, second day I'm in Norway, I'm walking down the street and I see this like poster on a street sign and it basically says, real rappers are dead And I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold up a minute.
The wrong
Yeah.
dude.
Triggered you.
Yeah. And
You got
I was
one right
Yeah. Like, obviously, Hollywood jump scare sound effect. And then I saw it, I started reading it. It's like, real rappers are dead. Like, all these rappers are rapping over their vocal instrumentals now. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Vocal instrumental. Like, they're literally just playing the song and just getting on stage and be like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, no, hey, mate. Not in my story. Like, this is when I'm, like, freshly hosting, like, freestyle nights, jam bands, like clubs, whatever. And I was like, no, I have to hit this. So I saw this like Instagram link at the bottom and it goes, hit me up basically. So immediately hit him up. 20 seconds later, actually replies. I was like, whoa, I'm in Norway. This is weird. Obviously Google Translate, my boy, shout out. So I'm like, I'm in Norway. I'm a rapper from Perth, Australia. Fast forward. He's like, come to the freestyle night. Went to the freestyle night. Never met like any of these like Norwegian rappers in my life. Walked in the room, made myself known, got up on stage, started freestyling, did the crowd thing. Shout out to the gimmick, right? Pulled it all out of their pockets, tripped them out, became mates with all these Norwegian rappers. And then the next day I go to the studio and I'm freestyling with all these Norwegian rappers and they speak 2 languages fluently. They're rapping in English as dope, as, if not doper than like Aussie rappers here.
Yeah.
I'm like going head to head with them. Freestyling. Then all of a sudden, I'm on a podcast with them. Shout out to podcasters, right? So I'm telling them about you in the future. No. So I'm with these Norwegian podcasters. Shout out to Zawadi and my boy Hemmen. Much love. Started a podcast in Norway. I'm like freestyling with them, hanging out. And then they tell me that they have a plug who's in Norway, on Norwegian radio, sorry. And they're like, yo, you're an Aussie rapper. Like, we can get you on this Norwegian radio station. Next night, I'm in Norway for like 4 days. I'm on the national radio station freestyling with all these Norwegian rappers on air. And I'm like tripping hard. And it went off. And I'd recently like had just released a few songs for my Milestones mixtape. And I'm like, whoa, this is insane. So I'm riding this absolute high. And then I get to England. Like, that set the context for the holiday. Yeah. Fast forwarding, I went to Germany, crazy time, Amsterdam, say no more. You fill the dots in.
Say less.
And then all of a sudden I'm in London and I'm with my uncle. And my uncle Brian, shout out to Brian Macshane, obviously the name. He is an absolute king and he's very connected in the music industry there. He has a friend called Florence who works at BBC Radio. And I told him about the whole I rapped on radio, rapped on air. So he tells Florence and he sends Florence my mixtape and she's like, oh, cool, Aussie rapper. We're going to give him a tour of BBC. And I'm like, what? So I get the train from Henley to Oxford Circus. It's midday, rock up to BBC, get the name tag. I go up to the top. I'm literally standing in Tim Westwood's studio. I walk through. I'm standing in Mr. Jam's studio, all these this holy ground, man. And I was like, where's the big man at? And she's like, he's not in yet. And I was like, I'm here. I have to meet Charlie Sloth. And she's like, yeah, cool. Come back in 2 hours. So I leave, walk around London, get lunch, beers, etc. I come back. She takes me back up the top. Charlie Sloth's in his studio preparing for his set. And wouldn't believe it. Yes, fanboy moment 101. But I'm literally there. She's introduced, someone's here to see her. Walk in, biggest hip hop handshake. I'm talking to Charlie Sloth. He's like, what's going on, fam? What are you saying? Chatting with him. I tell him about grime in Australia. I tell him about me. Tell him what's up. Number one rule for people out there: people who are of fame don't want to fucking hear what you're doing. They don't want to hear why they're famous either. They know what they're doing. They want to hear about normal, everyday shit. Talk to them about fucking aliens or something. So I'm just talking with Charlie Sloth, having a good time, and we just get along, exchange digits, whatever, get a photo together, and he shows me the full studio. I'm wigging, man. I'm literally in the place that inspires me most. I remember sitting when I was 14, watching Charlie Sloth radio sets for 4 hours straight on YouTube, just zoning. And yeah, got to meet the great man. But then this is where it gets even crazier. I left BBC, chucked the photo up of me and Charlie Sloth together, and all of a sudden my phone's obviously popping off because whoa. Yeah. I look down and there's this message on Facebook from this dude called Juslo, and he's a sick grime DJ actually from Sydney who lives in the UK now. Yeah. And so he goes, yo, just saw you in London. What are you doing tonight? And I'm obviously I'm ghost white and I'm shaking because I just met my god. And then, like, a religious experience. Like, so then he's like, yeah, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm hanging. He goes, you want to rap on pirate radio tonight? And I'm like, what? Like, how are we going to level this up? I just met Charlie Sloth. He's like, you need to come. I think it was Essex or Enfield, basically a long way from Oxford Circus. Yeah. And it's like on the train, it's like an hour out of London. It's the bits fun. It's like proper heavy area. Obviously, I'm the whitest person you've ever seen in your life.
Besides me.
Well, I mean, let's have a tan off, my guy. Basically, I hop on the train. There's a Norwegian telling someone that's Swiss, who's whiter.
Mate, I'm whiter, bro. You got the dark hair, I got the blonde.
Okay, look, you did finesse me on that one, but I got the translucence. Podcasters, you can't hear, but you can see. All right, you can see the pain.
I get transparent at night.
We'll put a photo up on Instagram.
Thank you.
A white off.
Yes, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. So all of a sudden, I'm on this train, and I'm catching the train out to Enfield or Essex, basically the end of the earth. And my phone has like 3% battery because I've been out in like London the whole day. Oh. And this Joslo dude's like, yo, here's the address. I felt like I was out of 8 Mile. I literally wrote the address on a napkin. Who does that? And I think I've still got the napkin though, respect. I wrote it down and it's like, yo, you need to get off at this train station. You'll see the Macca's sign. You got to turn left at the roundabout. After 500 meters, turn right at that street. Left when you see the blue gate. And I'm just like...
It's one of those.
Whoa.
One of those, yeah.
Because I know that, like, I won't have a GPS. Like, I can't use it. Like, I've never been there. He's literally giving me directions. He goes, you know, you got to walk through the big estate. When you get to the tyre yard, you'll see the door that has 3 tyres stacked up. And I'm like, definitely one of those... It's like a choose your own adventure novel. Like, page 45, like, Macshane died and never did the podcast. Like, so then...
Did you turn left or right at the minute?
Yeah. Find out next time on the AAA podcast. You got to pay for the premium service. And so then I jumped off this train because I saw the Macca's sign. And then I'm on the train station. And there's all these like Jamaican roadmen there. And like, if you don't know what a roadman is, like, homie, link up TV, YouTube channel, watch 5 rap videos and then talk to me. Like, there's just these dudes just standing there like kitted up, like black puffer jackets, like, you know, obviously gloves, like gold teeth, like TNs, like ready to go basically. I was a smoker at that point in time, so obviously I was like going in. Smoker of many assorted things, Amsterdam, shout out. And then so I'm like doing exactly that and they could smell it. They're like, you're fam, you got smoke for me, G. And I'm just like, there's 2 things you can do right now is like engage your convo or just like power walk. So I hit the power walk option. Because bro, I'm literally this like white boy with no battery. The place I was staying was actually, and this is not a lie, look it up on Google Maps. I was staying in a place called Henley-on-Thames and I had to get the train there because I didn't have transportation. Yeah. It's 4 hours from where I was.
Well, the Thames is like,
it's a long way. Like,
Joel's look, the confusing look.
No, I'm listening, man. Because
basically, I'm in no man's land, and if like something happens, that's it. It's like cool, cap it. Like, no worries, sweet chapter. Like,
no one's gonna really know.
At least I released 1 mixtape at that point in time. So like,
I met Charlie Sloth.
Yeah, well, that's true. There you go. Hopefully, my man will let me through the gates. BBC One Extra. Then I'm like walking, hit the roundabout, you know, right. Then I hit the left. It's like, oh, there's the blue fence. Sick. Move there. It's like, bang. Then I see the estate. It was like facing the end boss, bro. It's like looming estate. It's looming estate. And I remember like the shit is like burned into my brain. I could see like the giant lights of the apartment block. And then through like the apartment block at the top, I could see the floor. And it was just all these tiny little red lights. And I realized that they were like people smoking ciggies. And there was like 20 of them. And I was just like, oh shit. I had to like walk through it. So I actually stealthed it. Like hood up, obviously I had no phone and shit. Just power walked it through the shadows. Finally get to this dodgy tire place, I think it is. And I remember like, it's like adrenaline popping off. By then it's like 10 at night or whatever. And then I see the door and I like bang on the door. And I remember telling him on the phone, I'm like, bro, I'm just going to bang every 10 minutes for like an hour because he's mixing on the radio at this point in time. And he's just like, you need to keep coming out every 10 minutes. And I remember hitting it for like 25. I was like, not coming. Then all of a sudden, it's like out of a movie, bro. The door busted open and just all this like thick weed smoke just went like...
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
And then I'm like looking there and the dude's like he's an absolute lord, but he's like quite short dude wearing a bucket hat. And I've never been more happy in my life to hear an Aussie accent. He's literally just like, "Scown on." And I was just like, yes, bro. Like, boom.
That's a vibe.
Straight, yeah, biggest vibe ever. Straight upstairs. He like took me to Spooky's studio. So if you're a grime head, like check out DJ Spooky. Like ridiculous, like highly influential. I'm in the dude's studio, and like Joslo's mixing, does a quick little interview with me on air, gets me on. I'm starting to like shell down like freestyle and grime radio in UK, hitting the lemon like hell hard. Basically, time flies, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yo, bro, what time's your last train?" And I was like, "Oh, I think it was like meant to be 12, like 23." Time was like, I think it was like 12, like 15 or something disgusting.
Yeah.
Because I remember just seeing it. I was like, "Cheers, bro," and then just sprinted out the door because it's the last train I had to get back because I was going to Manchester the next day, like in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I just like sprinted like through the estate, like back, remembering all the directions. All these people like, "Wait, G, what are you doing?"
You're like hell, like
But-
stealthy on the way there, and on the way back, you look like you've stolen
I remember,
something.
yeah, exactly. Like busted it, bro. Like, I'm not like an athletic dude, but I was doing some shit. I was on some Max Payne bullet time, Macshane type of shit, and like got to the train station, and I'm like, yes, and I realized I was on the other side of the tracks. The train was like coming. This is the last train, bro. I literally was just like, actually like climbed the tracks, bro.
Oh.
Hit it, and then I'm on the tracks, like defeated. And I remember this English geezer getting on like 3 tracks later because I'm at the back of the train, like puffing, like sweating and shit. And he's like, "What's going on with you, mate?" And all that shit. And then he's like, "You shouldn't be on this train." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You know what I mean, mate." Like basically saying like, "You're the whitest I've ever seen." Sorry about the language, AAA podcast.
No, we'll bleep it out anyway. So
"You're the whitest looking dude I've ever seen. Like, you should not be on here." And then I got home at, it must have been like 4:30 or 5, smashed onto bed, had to get up at 7, and then I went to Manchester. And that was like the story of how I met Charlie Sloth. That was all one day, bro.
that's insane.
It's ridiculous.
That's nuts.
That is
Sorry.
I'm kind of just taking it in right now.
Yeah.
Sorry if I talk so much. I'm a rapper, mate. I built a career out of it.
No. All right, so I'm gonna hit you with some stuff now as well.
Fire away, mate.
We went back before. Now we're gonna go way back.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna hit you with 3 names.
Woo! Okay.
And
this is...
I'm gonna pull my list out.
I am
here.
ready. I am ready.
All right.
Let's hope my memory serves me right. I've had some loose nights.
It's not 3 names of people, but this is gonna. I want to see your reaction. All right, ready? Turning Tides,
Okay. Excellent.
Cabin Fever,
Excellent.
Matters.
I knew that was exactly what was going to happen.
Now,
You have done your research.
I believe, if my memory serves me correctly.
And you're about to play it, aren't you?
Now, I really hope that you were a part of this one. But I'm going to play a track from a band that you were the bass player in.
I already know what you're about to play, and I'm already ready to call my lawyer.
All right, now I hope that this track you actually. It's good for the headphones for now. I hope that you actually were on this track. So,
I already know.
all right,
I already know.
Are you ready?
Hit me with it. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, you would need your headphones on to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard enough as well. I just want to say shout out to John Prosser for spelling my name Stain Macshane on the album because you didn't proofread it. And you know
So
what?
it actually says Stain Macshane. Stain Macshane.
My name is spelled Stian.
Yeah.
My surname is spelled Macshane. He just typed it in, and obviously, like,
Oh, it's
correct.
autocorrect.
Shout out to the paperclip. My boy didn't help me out on that one. The paperclip didn't autocorrect it, and it went from Stian Macshane to Stain Macshane. We got in a magazine called Blunt Magazine, which is like the punk hardcore magazine for Australia.
Yeah.
I got in the same issue with 2 bands. I was in Turning Tides as the drummer. Mattersville was the bass player. Got in the same issue, but except on the Mattersville side of it was literally a photo of me. They're like, clearly that's the same guy, except it was Stain Macshane.
And I did as well. Obviously,
Cold.
I can't show it now because we're on a podcast, but I did show you before a photo of yourself.
Oh, mate.
We did some digging.
We can go so much worse than that, bro.
I've got another one.
Oh, excellent.
Off air, I'll show you the other one.
Oh, beautiful.
How did you kind of get into that? Because that's obviously you from playing as a drummer and a bass player to being an MC. Like, how did you make that transition? How did you get started doing that?
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
But it all started a long time ago in a galaxy not so far away. Actually, in Cannington at a place called Cosmic Sound. Do you like my galaxy pun?
Yeah.
I literally was just winging that. See, I'm freestyling right now.
Yeah.
But it all started there. When I started working at Cosmic, Cosmic Sound, for those who don't know, which is probably 90% of everyone listening, is actually a music store. So it was Perth's kind of largest music store. I started there as a full-time salesman when I was 18 in the guitar department, and I worked there for 7 years. I now work at a place called Store DJ, which is Perth's biggest DJ store, and now I'm actually the manager of the store, which is killer.
He's just giving some plugs out to his.
So, yeah, for anybody who needs a deal, you can come down to... No, nobody's getting free radio advertising, except for Macshane. So
You hit them with your pad.
Hit him with your finger smashing.
if there's somebody out there that needs good fingering, I know a guy.
Joel.
Have you actually thrown that speech at many
No,
people?
that was just you, bro. You
Okay.
only the special ones.
You just looked at Joel and you're like,
Sorry.
yep.
This guy wants
Yeah.
to... He's going to fucking smash it.
You either know how to throw a lot of gang signs or you're really good with those fingers. No. So I started at Cosmic Sound, right? And fresh-faced, 18. I love music. Oh, I'm working at a music store. Sick. I love working with music. Bang, bang, bang. Meeting all these people, networking, etc., etc. This dude starts working on my work called John Prosser. He now owns a studio called Vision Studios, which is Perth's biggest recording rehearsal kind of studio.
Do you see the pattern here?
Yes.
Yeah.
You keep knowing people that end up being the biggest...
Like the biggest music store, the biggest DJ store.
It's...
Yeah. You could be the biggest MC.
Whoa, let's find out. Coming up next. So basically, yeah, like all these kind of things start sprouting. So I met this guy and he's like messing around with recording, which is John. John's playing in a band. He's like, yo, we need a bass player. So the bass player quit. Ooh, I play bass. I'm now playing bass for him. We started playing shows. We started recording. He taught me a lot about recording. He taught me a lot about kind of just being in the live environment. I've been playing in bands since I was 14, but this is just a new format of it.
Yeah.
And then so all of a sudden I'm in that. And then that progressed into meeting more people through the hardcore scene because it was pop punk. I'm playing drums in a band now. Because I'm playing drums, I'm loving rhythm, and I'm really getting into it. And then there was a dude in the band who he was messing around with beatboxing and things like this. And so I would kind of rap over him beatboxing just as a joke in the jam room.
But you can also beatbox as well, can't you?
I can.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do a plug for the AAA podcast for you. So all these weird things were happening at the same time. Like I was beatboxing with mates.
Yeah.
I would even play shows beatboxing. Weird. I was doing that. I was playing like bass in a band. I was playing drums in a band. Then all of a sudden it's like all these kind of things start overlapping. And like the comedy rap kind of thing started coming in because that's when I met Fidel, who I told you about before.
Yeah.
So he kind of floated hip hop to me. Bands. I bought a laptop, started making my own beats. And this is where it actually all really kicked off, is that Kaz Fidel introduced me to rap, bands, making beats. And then I realized I actually enjoy rapping more than I do sitting in a jam room with people, for 5 hours on a weeknight trying to work out a song. So I kind of started transitioning and enjoying it more. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I don't actually want to play in a band. I want to make beats and I want to rap. And it just went bang. Over a period of a year, to be honest.
That's crazy. Do you find, obviously you enjoy playing in the bands.
It's killer, yeah.
Do you feel that experience helped with now that you're...
110%. That experience taught me a lot. Like, that coupled with working at Cosmic Sound, music stores have taught me the back end of music.
Yeah.
Bands and everything has taught me the front end of it. So back end being like, I can walk into any venue and I know how every single thing works. Like, if I'm on stage and the sound isn't right, I can literally tell the sound guy what to do, or I can rewire it myself.
Yeah.
That's the back end. And also back end of music in terms of networking. Like I've met everyone, and this is why all these weird things have happened is because of networking and people. So that back end of music, something. Then the front end of music is like bands have taught me, organization has taught me the art of entertaining, the art of controlling a crowd, reeling a crowd in, picking things up, bring it down. Practicing your craft, doing your homework. all these kind of things have just created this super music entity, which is like whatever it is I do now.
Yeah.
That's why there's all these facets of like entertaining, and then at the same time I like do my own like marketing, or, you know, still working at music stores. It's just all become a
just one
continuation.
big-
Yeah,
it's all
just a
music.
snowball, bro. It's weird.
It is very as we were just talking before, like it kind of just it all falls into place somehow. Like
Yeah.
it just kind of one thing rolls into another
Yeah.
into another.
But also, like what you were saying as well, like you meet people that you're all here for the same reason.
Yeah.
I feel as though everyone who I'm with now is kind of, they're on the same path that I am, but they're all on their own journey, of course. So it's like, for example, Jeff Shrapnel, he's the gentleman that's managing me now. Very successful guy, amazing brain, amazing mind, awesome guy as well. But like, I met him just through sheer coincidence, and me and him are just like on the exact same par, like we click.
Yeah.
Likewise, like a lot of the other homies, Mitch Richards, who's doing all the music videos, he's doing exactly what I'm doing, but in the video world. Everyone's doing their own thing. You boys are doing what you're doing in the podcast world. So it all kind of links up. Everyone's a snowball.
Yeah.
I want that on a shirt. Everyone's a snowball.
We'll bring out merch
Yeah.
and we'll do
Yeah.
the Macshane edition. It's everyone's
Everyone's a snowball, my guy.
I'm gonna hit up our
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that does it. We'll
Yes.
get some merch
We're
done.
on, bro. I mean, it is Christmas, right? But let's get
Ooh.
knitted jumpers, except it's 50 degrees.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter. Hang on. I will organise a knitted jumper that says everyone's a snowball,
That is amazing.
but you have to wear it to like a really hot summer show.
So you joke about this. I mean, if
No,
you want,
I'm not joking.
if you want to go on the knitted jumper tangent, we can do it right now. So I'm half Norwegian. My grandparents, at some point in my life when I was like 10, would send me knitted jumpers that they made in Norway. Respect. Those who don't know, look where Norway is. It's like -20 in their winter. And they'd send it to Australia where it's like 55 degrees. So I'd be like, cool, like much respect, but don't know how much mileage that one's going to get. Like,
Totally, this isn't music related, but you know when you get like a present from like when you get like a Christmas present, a birthday present, and you can look at people when you give someone else a present. If you give someone something and they tell you what they're going to do with it, it means they don't like that present. So like, say you're like,
ooh, that's a good logic.
so you're like, all right, so
just realised
What am I
that.
going to do with this?
Yeah.
no. So your grandparents are like, all right, gave you a jumper. You're like, cool, I'll wear this.
Ooh,
No, you won't.
this is so real.
Yeah. So like anytime you give someone like I don't
That's
know,
interesting.
like a mug or something, like, oh, I'm going to put tea in this.
It's funny you say that because, man, I've received some doozies and you're like, oh, 3/4 shorts, eh? What I'll do is
Yeah.
I'll wear these when I go up to the property on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know? I'm
I'm going to use this for its intended purpose.
I'm going to wear this out in the country, you know?
That is so good.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
just to blow your mind.
I think we've learned a lot here today about each other. Oh, it's so good. Hit me up.
now I'm that jumper. I'm dead. I'm going to organize
I'll
it.
crack it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put some photos up.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure. I want to see like your face in the heat, just performing.
Bro, you
this.
put me in the sun for 5 minutes. Wait till you see it.
Now we're going to chat. Obviously, you're saying that you were doing freestyle, and then you kind of switched it off. Now you're more writing stuff, and you've released your first EP. Or
Well,
like
it's funny you say that, AAA podcast, because what's that in my pocket right now? My first mixtape, the Milestones mixtape, right now, and I'm about to bless y'all with it.
thank you. So this was just so anyone can see.
Yes.
So this was the first mixtape that you.
That's
you
correct. Yeah. So that was the point where, should I wind it back in further? The point was when there was that period of transition going from freestyling to writing. Basically, all the dudes that I came up with were telling me, like, when are you actually going to release something? Like, I would procrastinate to the end of time and just keep saying, like, yeah, no, like, record something. All my mates had released stuff. I was the only dude left standing. I didn't actually have a product. And they kept nagging and nagging and nagging. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to start writing something. So I sat down and I hunted the net. I found a bag of, any rapper looking to make a mixtape.
You found a bag of.
Yeah, a bag of whoa. There is a song in there about that. No, any rapper looking to get started, do a mixtape first because you have complete freedom over the beats. You can't sell it, but you can pick whatever beat you like off the net.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go through that whole process of paying a producer $300, clearing samples, all this stuff. So I picked a bag of beats that I really dig. I started writing lyrics, I started writing themes, got vibes off the tunes, and then I hit up my two mates, Becken and Silvertongue, to feature on the mixtape as well. So because I worked at the music store, I've taught myself the art of recording. So everything I do, I self-record. I mixed it all as well, and then sent it to Rob Shaker for mastering and the rest. And so I finally had a product, man, and I was like, yes. And finally something to represent myself, which is why I called it Milestones, because it was so hard to transition from freestyling to actually creating something.
Yeah. Do you feel like this was obviously this is it was a big milestone for you. Do you feel like you've progressed as well? Like, because obviously you've released some more stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
You've had some more stuff more recently as well.
Yeah.
When does your latest track, has it come out, or when did?
So latest song is called Rendezvous.
Yeah.
And the next EP is a big discussion. But the song that has recently come out called Rendezvous, that came out in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I can safely say that now I finally have a product that I can look back on in 5, 10, 15, 20 years and actually say, like, this is relevant, this is me.
I guess that's what I was trying to think of it is, like, do you feel like with this compared to that, like, did you have something you were kind of like, shit, like, this is really like...
100%. Like, that whole EP started actually on the basis of something from this song. So there was a song on here called Meant to Do that actually won the Wham Award for Best Hip Hop Song in West Australia in 2017. That was the moment that I knew that what I'm doing is the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was literally like the slap in the face. Like, whoa, man, like, this isn't just freestyling anymore. People actually like what you have to say. People like what you have, like, your vision and kind of, direction. So then I was like, whoa, it's time to get serious. So after that happened, I kind of just sat for, 2 months, thought, and this weird series again of snowballing. I met this guy called Ricky, right? Ricky is a mate of mine, Vince Bonza, who I live with his brother now, Snowball. Like, Vince told me about Ricky one time we were driving down the freeway, like on the way to the beach or something. He's like, bro, I got this mate who lives in Canada and he makes beats. And I was like, yeah, cool, like, never thought anything of it. Oh, he's coming to Australia, like, for summer, pretty much. We went to a boat party, right? I met Ricky at this boat party. We got very buckled, like, supremely buckled. Ricky, we're all hanging out and he's like, yo, I make beats. We sat around my backyard table, absolutely frying. And he played me some of his beats. And I was like, what? This dude is an actual producer. Like, that is a missing link in this puzzle. Like, I know rappers, I know musicians. I do not know hip-hop producers. This guy is on fire. Played me, like, his selection of tunes. Next day, bang, he's in my studio. And he cooked up a beat, which became Ask Yourself, which is a song that's out now off the new Macshane EP. And then so we linked up. All of a sudden, Ricky's like, I got to go back to Canada, bro. So we started sending songs. Over a period of a year, right? This has been going for a year. That was like 2017. All 2018, I've been working with Ricky, going back and forth to create this new Macshane EP produced by Uncle Ricky. Yeah. And I could not be more proud of the product now.
You had some, I saw from the previous one, I can't remember which video it was. It was the one that you're a typewriter.
Yes.
Which one's
Meant to Do. That was the one that got the wham.
Okay,
yeah.
it was that one.
Yeah.
That is such an insane...
Yeah.
Those vibes, I was trying to relate it to who it feels like, but that video was just...
Yeah. For the public record, Lenny Rudberg, Wisdom Tooth. Absolutely insane, amazing talent. He's a mastermind. Lenny is a wizard. Like, that was Lenny's idea. So I gave him the song, and it could have been two ways. Like, every Aussie rapper has to be standing in front of a chain link fence, like, rapping at a barbecue, right?
Yeah.
Lenny was like, he heard the song. He's like, what do we do? Like, he came to me with this big kind of concept, which was, I'm a struggling writer, and my novel keeps getting knocked back. The novel being the Milestones mixtape.
Yeah.
And then so the whole video was me kind of just like trying to work my masterpiece and trying to get inspiration from all these other books in the video, which were ironically, the books were titled Becken's mixtape, the other rapper who features on this, and Silvertongue's mixtape. And I was reading the books to get inspiration from it.
You haven't seen it?
Insane.
I've seen a couple of what's on there.
It's
Yeah.
But I haven't watched the entire.
That's cool.
thing.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to so to give some context as well, so we get everyone to bring in like an item to kind of put on the back of the wall. But what I'm actually going to do with this, because it's not going to really sit on the back of the wall, we'll get it framed and we'll hang it up.
Oh, that's banging, man.
We'll hang it
That's
up here
so
as
nicely,
well.
bro.
So this is the OG.
That's the OG. There is an OG, but that is the tutorial stage. You know what I mean? That's level 1. But I can tell you right now that why I brought that in is because that is the single culmination of work that has put me on the next level. And the next level is the one that I think I'm going to be, it's basically saying I'm here to stay. So like ask yourself, which is off the new Macshane EP, that again, all these songs that I've written are about myself. Ask yourself is like, what are you doing? Like, what do you want from music? The next song that came out was called Wait. And that's, for me, that was just literally a message to myself, just saying like, I don't want to wait for the weekend. I don't want to take my time. It was like one of the hooks. It's basically saying like, if you want to make this happen, like go.
Yeah, do
like,
it.
Put the work in. Like put yourself on the line. Stress, don't sleep. Like do all the things that you need to do. And then Rendezvous, which is the new single, is about, I guess getting intimate with like, people from past flames, or like, to be honest, even your love for music. It's like, it's almost like a song about addiction, to be honest. And addiction being music.
Yeah.
For me.
So or even like rekindling like
totally
your love for music.
Exactly.
Well. Yeah.
Exactly. Like it doesn't have to be looked at in the literal sense of like a love song or something like this, but for me, it's definitely like.
Do you
passion for music?
Do you find it interesting when people? So obviously, like, and with any musician that will write a track, you have people that will kind of like try and pick apart like what it is. Do you find it interesting when people think like?
For sure.
You would have written about say this thing, and they'll come up with like, it's about this, and you're like, how the
totally. But on the flip side of that is sometimes people do pick things apart and tell me what they get from the song, and I'm like, you know what? It does apply to that. Like maybe I did write it about that, and then I start thinking about why I wrote it. Like
it messes you up. You're like,
it's mad. But should I say the thing I'm looking forward to most is this new EP coming out, because it's gonna set basically the bar for where I'm at and what I'm doing. And I've got 3 music videos that are already finished, and a lot of madness planned as far as how it's going to be released.
We're definitely in it as well. Obviously, if you're listening, it's a bit harder, but anyone that's watching on YouTube will link down below all of Macshane's socials, his music, everything like that, so you can find all this stuff as well.
Hit me up, you might get a freestyle.
Yeah.
And next live, you're playing at the City, is that right?
That's correct, yeah. So very, very lucky to actually finally, like, the new era is I'm headlining now, which is crazy. So I'm very, very lucky to actually headline a show that's put on. It's actually about Perth City for Perth City. So it's all Perth artists, all Perth food, all Perth fashion. The boys from Filth, Damien Campbell, is actually putting it on, and it's going to be absolutely insane. So you'll hear all the new music.
So all exclusives?
You might actually hear the whole EP if you're lucky.
Oh, you have to get tickets for that as well. So.
That's correct, but mate, they're only $10 because it's about the city for the city.
So where is that?
It's actually at the Court Hotel.
Oh, nice.
Which is popping off. It's going to be one of the best venues this summer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been now that it's kind of rebranded as like a live venue, but the Court is just insane.
I've never actually been to the Court, but we might have to.
Yeah,
might have to pop down for this.
Hit me
one.
up for the show, man. Hit me up for the show.
Maybe we'll do a. Because when is it? What?
It's November 10th.
November 10th.
Yeah.
November 10th.
Maybe we'll might have to catch up for a little chat then as well.
Yeah, straight up, man.
Yeah,
straight up. 110%, bro.
Now, were you going to say something, Joel? You know?
Yeah, it's kind of an ongoing question, but with music and how you kind of started, did you have a traditional education within music?
This is a good question. The answer is formally no. Everything I've ever done, I've taught myself. But I think the one thing that is consistent in all of this is the biggest inspiration for starting this journey. It's actually my old boy. So my dad, Hans, is Norwegian, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So he's actually a blues musician.
Yep.
And he's actually quite a well-known and well-regarded blues musician around Australia. So all throughout growing up, I've had musicians, bands, and like, music in my house. So like we've always had people coming around and jamming in the living room. We've always had like, people there playing guitar, people singing, like violin players, like bass players, like just music all the time.
You're always surrounded by
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then subliminally, I've just embodied it. But I do the antithesis of what he does. So I rap. Like
Yeah.
he plays blues. Like, and he comes to the shows. I've even rapped with him in a blues band, like in Norway, bro. When I went, it's crazy. So all these things. But I think for me, I've never had an education. But what I have had is that subliminal influence
Yeah.
of just being around music. And
But
that's
I think that's how it, like, I feel as though you always have, like, like, I'm the same in the sense that, like, my dad's a musician as well, playing in bands in Perth, Australia, and all that kind of stuff. And I've I'm still in the industry, but I've gone for something
Totally
different.
right.
Like, it's, you still stick within it because you're surrounded by it.
You find what you enjoy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it's, but yeah, you can't leave it. Like, it's,
Exactly, man.
you're brought up with it.
Exactly. But I wish I actually have had a formal training in it. Like, I
Yeah.
wish that I know chords. I wish I know scales. I wish I know notation. Like, I've
But
always dabbled in everything.
Do you think, because this is something, this is continuous, is that, do you think that then will hinder you? So say all right, this is how, like, to simplify it, this is how a chord progression should be, or this is how the scale, whatever it may be. Do you think that then hinders your, like, creativity?
That's interesting you say that, because there's two ways to look at it. It can be a science and like a way of following it, or it can be a tool that you can use as a foundation to build off. For me, I wish I knew the science of it. So when we're in that jam room and like I feel the creativity that I've got naturally, then I can be like, you know what, maybe if we can just try that option, rather than be like, they're like, I don't know what you mean. Or for me, rap, something you can try to teach it, but it's always in there. Like, what you do with words is up to you. That's who you are. Like, I can tell you that cat, bat, fat, hat, rat, sat rhyme, but how are you going to paint the image of how those things tie together? Like, so that's the kind of paradox of it.
You kind of got to, what's the word for it? I have some shocking moments. I can't think of something. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of linking it together.
Totally. Yeah.
Now, I was going to mention as well, you have something special going on.
Yes, this is insane. Everyone's a snowball. The progression of what's going on now is actually freaking me out. Like, when I say that, I mean, there are things that have always been boiling in the background, but now things are becoming something. They're actually like manifesting themselves. So, for example, I've been doing the 92.9 freestyles all the time, and that was one opportunity that became another. I got a phone call today, which is the 23rd of October.
Yeah.
And it was the producer of 92.9. And he called me up and he goes, Macshane, you've been doing us, all these favors. You've been rapping. We love it. Like, thank you very much for it. I'm grateful for the opportunity as well. But they go, now we want to return the favor for you. And I was like, well, what does this mean? And then he goes, we want you to come in on Friday morning. And actually, we're going to interview you as our musical guest for the week. And we're going to play your song Rendezvous debut live on air on 92.9 on commercial radio.
That's crazy, man.
And, mate, speechless. Like, what? Like, what? Like,
I'm going to get this part out before Friday, and then we can. We've got an exclusive, but in the past.
But honestly, like,
do you feel like,
man.
because everyone's, I guess, as a singer, songwriter, rapper, everyone's goal is to have your music played on radio. Do you think that this is kind of like one of those things that, like, you can tick off the list as, like?
Yeah, I guess in a wholesome sense, yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everything serves as kind of a motivation to achieve the next step.
It's kind of like you're ticking off this, but then you got to restart.
It's kind of like a pat on the back, like, come on, man, like, keep going. Like, there's this, but, what else can you do to keep moving forward? And it's not in like a sense of, like, I don't know, this odd accomplishment, but, like, I feel as though if I stop moving and reflecting, then it's exactly that. Like, I stop moving.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like keep climbing the ladder, and I like try not to look down, because as soon as I look down, I'll be like,
you got to push. You got to keep pushing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why it's just like no sleep all the time. That's why it's like every weekend I'm out. I have to keep going. But that today was in particular like just amazing. Like, I was shocked. That's and insane. Supremely grateful. And grateful for everybody who's ever liked a video or listened to what I do or offered advice, offered criticism. Like, I'm just grateful to be a part of music.
So you, so that's on Friday. Do you know roughly what? I'm going to get this part of the interview. Obviously, if you're watching this in the future, this has already gone up. But I'm going to get this part up before then.
Yeah, cool.
So do you know what time?
Yeah, 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Friday morning.
All right, so people tune in at 8 a.m. Friday morning, 92.9.
Yeah.
Heidi, Xavier, and Ryan.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And they're actually, to my understanding, they're actually going to be interviewing me about, like, much the same as this. What's going on? Like, what are you about? Who are you? And that for me is surreal to be on breakfast radio with that crew, and they're actually interested in what I'm doing, which is odd.
We're kind of preparing you. For
You are, man. Yeah. So it's absolutely surreal, man.
Yeah.
I haven't actually processed it yet, to be honest. I'm just going to get in
there
and sit down.
You got a call today?
Today, yeah.
So you wouldn't really have that time to kind of...
Not at all. But it's killer, man. I'm excited. Let's do it.
To be honest, because we didn't know, you told us just before as well. Like, it's insane. Like, it's
wild. Like, it's not a game of stats. It's not a game of, like, who did this, who did that. It's just, like, things just keep manifesting and the snowball keeps growing and moving, and the best thing I can do is just keep creating and enjoying what I'm doing, which, to be honest with you guys, is not too hard because I am enjoying what I'm doing. Like, it's madness.
Well, we are we're coming up to the end. We do have something special. I'll talk about that in a second. But I was going to say, Joel, is there anything that you've kind of you want to throw out there, or any other questions?
Can you stop talking, Stan? Because that's all you've been doing.
Any advice or anything you'd give yourself to a younger version of yourself?
That's a very good question. Like, oof, now you got me thinking. So advice I would give to my younger self is there was a lot of time in my life where I actually did care about what other people thought of me. Like, in the sense that I grew up in a suburb that was really isolated. It was really small. You couldn't get out, experience other things. It was up in the hills. And because it was a small social circle, you kind of had to fit in, you know what I mean? I was always the dude who was into music, and I was always hungry because I'd never had anybody to share it with. So I've always had to keep pushing myself. And because of that, I kept caring about what other people would think, so it would hold me back. And then, later in life, I'm like, why don't you just quit your job and try and pursue music? Why don't you just do this? But now I kind of see that those things have served a good purpose in the long run. But I think the one thing I could teach myself is, don't care about what other people think. Focus on your craft. Set aside time to focus on yourself. It's one thing I don't do, which I'm learning now, is like, I've always been super social. I've always been out every weekend. Like, from work, bang, I'm out. Okay, it's Monday now. I'm back at work. Like, I've never had time to actually sit by myself and kind of like stop and refresh.
Yeah.
And because of that, I would like wear myself to the ground. And because I wear myself to the ground, I'm like, I can't create. So just don't care about what other people think. Focus on yourself. Focus on your health. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your company. That's not something I need to tell my younger self. That's something I do every single day, but that's something that everybody should do.
Yeah.
Like, the people you surround yourself with ultimately are the ones that make you at the end of the day.
Yeah. As we've gone through, like, it's kind of, your network is, you need the people around you to, as you said earlier on, be on the same path as you.
Yes.
Like, you need
exactly,
that.
Man. Everyone should motivate you because if it hits that point, and it should never be like black or white, you should help your mates as much as they're helping you. But definitely put yourself in a positive setting. Like, when I grew up, I was in a setting that it's nowhere near as like, Brooklyn growing up in the streets, but like, it was a setting that was not inspiring. Like, nobody liked music. Everyone hated it. Like, you either rode motorbikes or you kicked the footy. Like, that was option A or option B. Like, I love music, and because of that, I didn't get along with anyone. And so I turned it into something. And then I just kept pursuing it. And because I kept carving it, all these people would magnetize along the way. And then now the snowball started, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like,
everyone's a snowball.
Everyone's a snowball, mate. That is the lesson. As a matter of fact, I booked my tattoo session tomorrow. Everyone's a snowball.
I'm gonna try and get... I'll mess up whatever outfit you were going to wear for your headline set.
Thanks, mate.
I'll get you a
if I see you in the crowd and it's gone down, you best believe you're going to be freestyled about, boy.
Well, look, thank you for coming in. Thank you for having a chat with us. Now, we do have something special. You don't even know about this, but we thought we'd spring it on you as well.
Should I be stressing or?
No, well, it's how you got here. So we're actually going to get you to freestyle
Done.
about, obviously, everything that's in the room. So, but first, what I want to say is anyone that's listening to the podcast, thank you for tuning in, listening to us on whatever platform you are. If you want to check out any of Macshane's stuff, we will link it on our socials. And if you want to, I guess, listen and watch his freestyle, check our Facebook page or YouTube and you'll be able to see it there. But thank you for listening to the AAA podcast, the show that gives you access all areas to everything music, nightlife, and everything in between.
I just want to say thank you, gents.
Yeah.
Absolutely killer. Like, seriously, thanks for actually making me think about what I'm doing. The questions you've asked have like literally just like opened up a tomb in my mind that I've never even thought about. So thank you so much, dudes, for having me.
That's all right, man.
Fist
Thanks
bumps.
heaps.
Respect.
Well, look, we'll get set up, get the cameras sorted, and then we'll get you to do a little freestyle.
We're on.
Awesome. All right.
Sick, dudes. Yes. It's Mac Flame live and direct, AAA podcast exclusive interview business. But you know what time it is. You know why they're all here. Okay. Yo, look. AAA, now you really wanna do us? Cause I'm hanging with the Joel and the kicking with the Lewis, and we rapping with the podcast. Check out the contrast, but one more time exploding that bomb blast. Now I'm all about that, it's a movie, bro, because you're filming and you had me in the studio. Now I'm about that G, I'm telling you, literally the mixer looks like a Behringer, so all about the sick. Think that I got this, you think that you dumb it, the Timmy, the trumpet. I'm looking at soundproof, I think that it's round two. Macshane, Kanye West, think that I'm bound to. So let me just look at the sneakers. Wow, Macshane, thank you for the interview and the feature. Literally, I can't believe every time I speak, now at the end of the week, I'm going deeper a feature. So look, I don't wanna triple my pay because it's freestyle, bro. That's some triple A. Some just think that it's not vocation, but no, I'm not patient. No novation, dicer. Now I think that I'm rhyming. One more time, I keep on just sniping. Yeah, cause you know I rap ill, but my only photographer, that's Camille. Because I'm got the hat, I got the rap, I done the track, I done the facts, and I bring it all back. One more time, Macshane's on the lap, and I'm running the track, and I'm making it fat, so I'm making them clap, because I'm all about that. What, Jill? I'm a gentleman. Jack, so Macshane, put it all back one more time, my bro. Now they know they love that. So look, okay, I rap good. See me catching down on MacBooks. Macshane have got a couple words, we got feature singers and them rap hooks. Now I'm all about G's, and you know what they like, because every time I pick up the mic. Look, I work at store DJ, bro, so why am I pissed off that you didn't see me to buy? So look, okay, I've done my life, now I just can't think, I can't manage. Macshane's back on the mic, and I don't mean to disparage, and I see you out there filming on your Canon. So look, I'm all about that truth. Look, that I think that I get this. I'm hieroglyphic every time I switch letters. AAA, I double vision with dyslexia. Now I'm out here, true. Okay, now it's all too good. Freestyle bars, let me get a Camille hat and get me some sneakers and a nice black hood. Cause I'm all about here, you need better rappers. Macshane's out here in a denim jacket. I'm all about here now, it's been a while though, cause I can release that and I got milestones. Look, the EP's way too new, way too loose, and now you know new tube. I'm the type of dude to make a couple moves, and I got a couple rhythms and I'm playing it smooth because I'm all about this, and you know that I do this. Shouts out to Joel and Darby Lewis. All you dudes just must be the G's. Thanks for me having on the AAA podcast the middle of the week. Macshane just speak. Now I just want to salute. That's truth. And I love the fact that you even got a mic and a nice soundproof, but it just sounds too crispy. Literally on the street you can't miss me. Macshane's got a couple of the words and the accolades top of the list, and now you can see me. Now let's go. That's enough raps for a game. So one more time, let me shout out my boys with a nice fist bump from Macshane. Look, I don't want to stutter. All I want to do is just rap. If you like the AAA podcast, if they follow you, you better follow back. Done. Much respect.
All right, so thank you for joining us on the AAA podcast and watching the interview. If you want to watch previous videos, I don't know if it's whether this side or this side, we'll never figure it out. Do that. Subscribe to us as well. We have a Patron, so you can join that. Help us make some more videos. But thank you for watching the AAA podcast. Thank you for joining us and watching Shane, learning some new stuff about him as well. And yeah, we will see you soon.